Hello, it's me, Adrian the Trashbeard, here to spread holiday cheer on Christmas Eve. Before you go hang with your family, let's hang a bit. And thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this holiday hang. We've been working alongside OneFootball for about a year now, so a happy holidays to the team there, and they can make your holidays happy by keeping you up to date on everything happening during the packed Christmas schedule. They break news the fastest, and there will be plenty of headlines over the holidays, as well as live scores, highlights, articles, and a customizable news feed. Use the link in the description to support the channel and get a free download on iOS or Android. Watford versus Manchester United, this, my friends, is exactly what I was talking about after United defeated Spurs and City. That was a great achievement, those two wins, but it was two matches in a full 38-match season. Ollie's not going to keep his job based on how he does against the top six if he is struggling against the teams outside of it, you know? So the first goal, absolute clanger from De Gea, which is a poor way to start your second half. Since the start of the 2018-19 season, no player has made more mistakes that lead to goals than De Gea now. Then a clanger from Aaron Wan-Bissaka to give away the most obvious of penalties. I mean, before he had even finished sliding, before he'd come to a stop, his face said that he knew he was guilty. He knew right away as soon as he jumped into that tackle. So, Troy Deeney stepped up to the spot and smashed home his first Premier League goal in 9 months. 2-0 the final as United lose to 20th place Watford. A dark day for them. Darker than Mikel Arteta's hair after a fresh Just for Men session. Speaking of Arteta, Everton and Arsenal played out a 0-0 draw in the Arteta derby. Two teams with new managers going at it as Ancelotti was announced on Saturday. So Duncan Ferguson took in his final game and he finished with an unbeaten record with Everton. And it's over to Ancelotti now. Also, it was Mourinho versus Lampard once again, or Spurs versus Chelsea. And the last time they met, Lampard beat Mourinho with Derby, albeit via a shootout. In this match, Spurs were extremely sloppy to start the game, with plenty an attacking move getting destroyed by misplaced passes or poor control. They were never really at it, and before they knew it, they were 2-0 down. For the first goal, as I said on Twitter, Ohier was sent for a hot dog by Willian due to a snoozing during the corner, was late to pressure Willian, and before he could react, the Brazilian was past him. Great strike into the corner. Vintage Willian, who has been massive for Lampard. A renaissance. A Willianaissance. The second goal was also from Willian, this time from the penalty spot. In the second half, any attempt at a comeback was quelled by the Son red card, and Chelsea pretty much coasted through this entire match. It was easy for them. The first half was easy, and then when they were supposed to get a challenge in the second half, down to 10 men with a red. My prediction of Spurs smacking up Chelsea was completely wrong. I did not expect this limp of a performance from them at home. Let's talk about the calls now quickly. Gazzaniga on Alonso. Stupid as hell from Gazzaniga, as my guys from across the pond tweeted. Gazzaniga out here looking like John Wick's alcoholic brother, Jerry Wick. Oh, man. The Son red card. Did he kick out a little bit? Yes, definitely. Did Rudiger go down easy? Absolutely. But it was stupid of Son to even do that in the first place. You know the best way to ensure that you avoid the referee having to consider whether or not he should give you a red card? Don't do something like that. Just don't do that, and you'll be fine. That's 2 red cards from Son this season so far. Know what else is despicable? More racist abuse in the stands, to the point where the PA had to declare racist behavior was interfering with the match. English fans are taking a shot at Italy's title for the most ignorant vocal minorities in the top 5 leagues. This is happening way too frequently now. Guess what? Sheffield United have moved into 5th place for the Christmas standings. 3 wins in a row from Chris Wilder and the boys, the latest being a 1-0 away to Brighton. That's nothing to sneeze at, man. Graham Potter had Brighton playing some great football at one time. Not the greatest of late, and they've slipped in the standings, but they've caused a few upsets along the way. Know what else is wild? Steve Bruce's Newcastle held on for another win courtesy of Miguel Almiron, and they move into the top half of the table as well. They've won 3 of their last 4 matches and are level on points with Manchester United now. Imagine that. Wolves got a nice 2-1 victory over Norwich City, coming from 1 goal down away. Goals from Saiss and Raul Jimenez got them the 3 points and back to winning after their close loss to Spurs last week. And finally, Pep set City straight and got them their second win in a row against the Princes of the Counter-Attack, Leicester City. Playing at the Etihad, Kevin De Bruyne was going mad again as he wrung one off the post, but a stunning counter from Leicester was finished off with a glorious dink by Vardy. 1-0 there. Just 8 minutes later though, former Leicester player Riyad Mahrez had a strike deflect past Schmeichel to level, and before halftime, Ricardo Pereira made a bonehead tackle on Sterling, and Gundogan scored from the spot to give City the lead at the break. On the other side of the half, Leicester had a decent spell, but the rest of the half was pretty much all City, with KDB adding his 10th Premier League assist after he set up Gabriel Jesus. Great assist across the 6-yard box there. The bad news? He went off injured at the end, as did Rodri before him, so a headache for Pep. Standings at Christmas time. Liverpool still have a 10-point lead despite playing one match fewer than their chasing pack. Spurs and United fall behind Sheffield and Wolves. Arsenal are cooling in 11th. In Italy, we'll start with the Supercoppa Italiana, which was played between Lazio and Juve in Saudi Arabia. Well, my friends, we have a lot more love to give to Lazio from the weekend recap. In fact, I'm thinking they might be the officially supported team by the weekend recap in Italy, along with Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany, of course, and Real Sociedad, the future champs of La Liga. We'll think about that. We'll think about it. But playing for the first piece of silverware for the year, not that I really count Super Cups or anything to begin with, you guys know that, but they took the lead in the 16th minute when Lulic sent Tecilio back to Milan, turned him inside out, and while his cross wasn't the one that was converted, the cut back to Luis Alberto was 1-0 Lazio. Dybala scored for the second match running, this time popping in a rebound from Ronaldo's low drive, 1-1, but my. Not a performance that the Juventini will be happy with, and Lazio were strong in the second half. No, what wasn't strong? Quadrado's reading of the flight of the ball from Lazzari's cross in the 73rd minute, and Lulic was there to convert it first time. Incredible volley, 2-1 Lazio. Juventus did respond a bit, but in the 93rd minute, Cataldi hit a chef kiss peach of a free kick, and you know I love that one. Off the bar, straight into the ground, bouncing back up into the roof in the netting, 3-1 Lazio, brilliant strike, and that was game. 3-1, and this Juve team is lacking a little bit of fight. Okay, Serie A now. On the topic of lacking in fight, AC Milan, wow. A rough season for them gets even more so as they went to Atalanta, a team that would best be described as inconsistent at the moment, and lost. Not only did they lose, they lost badly, 5-0. At the half, the match was still in reach as they were a goal down, but that second half collapse came and it was not to be trifled with. 4 goals in 20 minutes, an epic bra moment or collection of epic bra moments, I guess. Saw Milan take their heaviest L yet this season, and it won't get easier for them as they play Sampdoria next and then Cagliari. Inter took on Genoa and they were on ice cream street for 4-0 win, and obviously Lukaku scored as he was playing against minnows, and dude loves to smash the minnows. Roma had an impressive 4-1 win away to Fiorentina. Mind you, Fiorentina are in a bit of a bad moment form-wise, and by a bit bad I mean like, I don't know, how does winless in 7 matches sound? Not good. After their epic draw with Inter in the last match day, Fiorentina couldn't get it up against Roma, who are now undefeated in 5 matches and are making a charge for the upper echelons. They're 7 points behind the 2 leading teams, who are both on 42 points. Lazio has a match in hand and can close the gap to 3 points, and Milan dropped back down to 11th, out of the top 10 again. The Club World Cup, not much of a surprise here as Liverpool became the World Club Cup World whatevers. That would be the easy headline, but it certainly wasn't easy for me to say or easy for Liverpool. Against Jorge Jesus and Flamengo, they made things very difficult for the European representatives. In fact, it required extra time for Liverpool to get their winner in the 99th minute. Again, a late winner from Firmino, with Mane setting him up on this occasion, but there were long stretches in this match where it was Flamengo that was dominating the ball and being the most proactive with their possession. They were well set up by Jorge Jesus, but a credit to Liverpool's defense, which stood a lot stronger than they looked against Monterrey, which makes sense. I mean, look at who they played against Monterrey. Another bonus competition? Why not? 'Tis the season to be giving. Let's scope out Turkey, as there was an excellent matchup between Fenerbahce and Besiktas, a little Istanbul derby, and it's an interesting first 16 rounds of this league so far. Let's take a look here. First though, Fenerbahce had a pretty easy time hosting Besiktas, beating them 3-1. Fenerbahce had a very forgettable season last term, but they are improved this go around. In comparison to last season, it's no comparison. They're way better. Former Bremen striker Max Cruz gave them the lead in the 23rd minute, a penalty. Then Tufan finished off a move from Luis Gustavo to make it 2-0 an hour into it. But after the half, Captain Canada, Atiba Hutchinson, the man who doesn't age, 36-year-old and still bossing it in the midfield. He pulled one back, but that was about it for Hutchinson and the Besiktas boys. A third from Muriqi killed the game off, 3-1 Fenerbahce. Galatasaray, two-time defending champions, are having a poor season. Their Champions League form probably provided you some sort of hint towards that. They haven't been a typical Galatasaray side, and that downward trend continued this weekend away to Göztepe, losing 2-1. Istanbul Başakşehir stretched their unbeaten run to 14 matches as they dominated the boys at the very bottom of the league. Kayserispor 4-1. But the big surprise in Turkey is, of course, Sivasspor leading the way atop of the table. Now, this past weekend, they only managed a draw, 2-2 away to Ankara, but they still have a 4-point lead over Başakşehir. Fenerbahce are in third, followed by Besiktas, Trabzonspor, and Galatasaray. All three of them lost this weekend. That's a big yikes there. This weekend was revenge of the basement dwellers in Germany as two of the bottom three teams were victorious. First, Fortuna Düsseldorf made it 2 losses in a row for Union Berlin with a 2-1 victory at the Merkerspiel Arena. Gotta love the emotion from the 90th minute winner from Fortuna via Eric Tommy. Bit of a weird goal as it bounced off of the post and in. Poor keeping. He had like a full 2 seconds to watch the ball as it was struck from such a distance. And he just did exactly that. He watched it and didn't even move for it. Take nothing away from the strike, of course, but keeper was just rooted to the spot, and it wasn't even that crazy of a strike. Paderborn played at home against Eintracht Frankfurt, where the wheels have definitely fallen off a bit. That's Frankfurt, where the wheels have fallen off, who are now winless in 7 matches, having lost 3 in a row. 4 of their last 5 matches, losses. Times are tough there. And there's rumors of Ante Rebic returning in January. Maybe they need that. Defense isn't that great though either, boys, as evidenced by them losing to 18th placed SC Paderborn. Remember, only 18 teams. Bremen, the other team in the bottom 3, they lost to Köln. Köln with 3 wins on the trot as they fire themselves up to 15th from 17th. Up the Billy Goats. Hoffenheim, the definition of a streaky team this season. Get a few wins in a row, get a few losses in a row, and just carry on like that. This week, how would they do in their final match before the winter break? Up against Dortmund, a team whose defenders have already been on winter break for a few weeks, it feels like. Excellent. Well, against the ropes at times, but they still did well. Hakimi set up Götze to give Dortmund the lead, but a push from Hoffenheim saw Sargis Adamyan and Andrej Kramaric get the goals for them. Adamyan's goal was courtesy of some shambolic defending. Kramaric's was courtesy of a great cross, but again, shambolic defending. What on earth are they doing? If they buy anything but defenders from now on, that will be foolish. Fans will lose it. Wolfsburg had a decent 2-match spell where they defeated Borussia Mönchengladbach 2-1 and held Schalke to a draw. Well, it didn't get any easier for them as they went away to the Allianz Arena to take on Bayern Munich. They put in a solid effort, as per usual, but Bayern's class overcame in the end. Joshua Zirkzee scored just 2 minutes after coming onto the pitch. He had just 3 touches throughout the final 10 minutes or so that he was on the pitch for, one of them being the goal. That's goals in consecutive matches for him after he came off the bench to score against Freiburg. He's played a total of 8 minutes in the Bundesliga and has 2 goals. That's quite the strike rate. A goal every 4 minutes? Decent. Our boys, Borussia Mönchengladbach, they're held to a draw. So that's further dropped points, giving RB Leipzig the opportunity to put a couple of points between the 2 clubs. Leipzig hosted a previously red-hot Augsburg, who were on a 3-match winning streak and undefeated in 7 matches. And hey, at the half, Augsburg was leading after their top scorer, Florian Niederlechner, had notched. But, propelled by their strong midfielders, Leipzig took the 3 points and scored 3 goals as they are seemingly contractually obliged to do or something. Red Bull's making them do it because they've scored 3 goals in their last 3 games, having scored 3 in 5 of their last 6 matches. Great run of form, undefeated in 12 matches. Leipzig is killing it. And they're top of the table going into the winter break by 2 points. The top 5 is extremely tight, as you can see, and will probably reshuffle itself every match day. Speaking of which, The Bundesliga won't be returning until January 17th. That's a Friday and will be a doozy. FC Schalke versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. Okay, well, Borussia Mönchengladbach let us down again. It was on Real Sociedad to show us what they're worth. Well, in the first half, especially away to Osasuna, a 13-minute blitz saw them 3-0 ahead with Martin Odegaard getting a goal and an assist, but they came so close to blowing it. Aridan Hernandez scored before half, then Avila scored almost immediately on the other side of halftime. Alexander Isak did put distance between them, 4-2 Sociedad at that point, but Avila for Osasuna notched, and that, my friends, made for a very entertaining end to the match, though Sociedad did get control of the ball in the closing moments. Barcelona played at home against Deportivo Alaves, who have one of the worst records on the road, just one win now from 9 attempts. Yikes. Luis Suarez found his level though after a terrible match against Real Madrid as he scored a goal and provided 3 assists. He had a hand in all 4 goals for Barcelona this time. He set up his attacking trident partners Griezmann and Messi, as well as later setting up Vidal. He deserved to take that penalty later in the match. Hat trick of assists, not bad. Atletico Madrid went away to Real Betis and Angel Correa was the hero of the match there as he scored in the 58th minute, then set up Alvaro Morata in the closing moments of the match. Brilliant little flick, and Morata will be thanking the heavens for that goal, by the way, as he's been great at blowing one-on-one opportunities lately, as he did in this game. But hey, 3 matches in a row where Atletico scores 2 goals. That's progress. Sevilla, they had a disappointing loss at home against Villarreal last weekend, but they rectified that with a win away to Mallorca this weekend. What a lovely place to start their winter vacation. At Real Madrid, man, I feel for Vinicius. The guy is hitting some form and getting minutes regularly, and then he gets injured. Militão, he's handed an opportunity, just his 4th start of this season, and he goes out injured as well. And he wasn't playing poorly, I would say, but another defender injured. That's a yikes for Zidane. So not a bad performance from Madrid, except for in the finishing department. I counted 3, 4, 5 big chances that they all blew. Mind you, they were unlucky with a few of them and hitting the woodwork about 3 times, I believe. So a bit of a cursed match for them. 0-0 there. 3 draws in a row for Madrid now. Those drop points allow Barcelona to grab hold of the top spot all by themselves again. They have a 2-point lead on Madrid, and hey, with Getafe losing, Real Sociedad move into 5th. Let's go, La Real. Alright guys, that will be all from me here at the Weekend Recap. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy them even if your family annoys you, and make the most of it, yeah? I'll see you on the 27th for another video, as I'm going to take a few days to completely unplug. 3 days, you know. Just to get away from the channel for a bit. But thank you for supporting Rabona TV, everyone. I love you, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.